Tell me guys, does this sound familiar to you? A fractured empire, dozens of vassals, and you're constantly at the brink of civil war? Well, don't worry, I've got you covered then. In this tutorial we'll look at how to manage your vassals so you don't have a broken kingdom. First, let's get out of the way what a vassal really is. So there are two different kinds of vassals, powerful and strong vassals. Powerful vassals are the vassals that pay the most taxes and contribute the most levies to your army, while strong vassals are vassals that are either equivalent or above you in military and taxation power. Now, of course, the biggest factor in Crusader Kings 3, of course, is opinion. We already established that Crusader Kings 3 is not a game about states, but a game about people. And if two people don't like each other, things can get very touchy in that state. The most important opinion modifier has to be a seat in the council, though. All of your powerful vassals want a seat in the council, but not everyone can get one, because there's only so many seats you can put them into. And that is where we have to say, okay. Taxation is nice, levies are all nice and fine, but if I don't want to die right now in this civil war, I have to give something away. Get your dukes what your dukes want. It's not good to have a lot of counts around. Have like one, have like two, but don't have more than those. Everything else needs to go to a duke. Preferably to a duke who has a bad opinion of you, because already one new vassal for a duke can increase his opinion by at least 40. And that is oftentimes just enough to get them out of like the zone where they will want to rebel against you. Because, think about this, you have a lot of counts, you have so many counts. And all of those counts will be around in the equal level, which means there's an inflation of powerful vassals that you now have to find a seat in the council for, which you can't. If you were to combine all of those counts though into a new dukedom, you would have more than enough space for a new council seat. You can make 2 dukedoms, 3 dukedoms, everyone has a place in the council, but not the counts. Choose the right ambition for managing your vassals. The right ambition in Crusader Kings 3, I would say, is always to go for diplomatic. When you have a new ruler, a ruler with a different religion, a ruler with a different culture, go with the diplomatic trait. Go down that tree. When you choose diplomatic ambitions, there are so many opinion modifiers for your vassals along the way. When you look at the first one, for instance, the effects of gifting double when you take that one. When you look a few steps further, there's an opinion modifier for direct vassals. You can join alliances without having a marriage. There's so many benefits to this one. Another very important thing is vassal liege interactions. For instance, the vassal contracts. Vassal contracts are a very powerful tool to increase the power of your empire by taxation and levy demand. Although it is sad, every time you increase one of the settings in your vassal contracts, your vassals will obviously lose opinion of you. And you will also get tyranny. And the more tyranny that you have, the more opinion malices you will get, and the more likely it is for people to join a faction against you. Crown authority is the next thing. For crown authorities, you need to get into the focuses though, the focuses of your culture. When you go with a cultural focus for research though, I would always go with the one that can increase your crown authority and add something to your liege management. It is important to be said that every time you increase crown authority, your vassals will get less and less power, which makes them turn against you. Make sure that you're always endowed by your archbishop, because if you're not endowed by your archbishop, actually all of the temple holdings and all of the theocracies in your empire will gain an opinion decrease against you. So always watch out for that one. I know what a lot of you might be saying now. Vassal management, that is nice and all, but I would have needed those tips like an hour ago. Right now, I'm in a civil war, people claim my throne, and there's 7 factions that are currently waging a war against me. What can I do against those? How can I do something against them? Well, don't worry about that one. Tune in next week, Sunday, 12 AM, and I will answer all of your questions regarding factions and how to deal with civil war. Until then, don't be eaten by the vassal swarm.